Welcome back, everyone. Toyshiz here, and I am back yet again to give you guys another fresh look, courtesy of my friends over at Roc Nation. We are totally checking out their brand new mashup with NECA Toys, Evil Inc., Coheed and Cambria. This is the AMORY Wars box set, of course, based off the comic book series of the same name, featuring the two titular characters, Coheed and Cambria. Very self-explanatory. I like this. You know, you got the band's name, you got the characters' names. It all works. Really nice packaging overall. Really brings forth, sets the tone. This is a comic book developed by Evil Inc. They are still publishing it, along with IDW Comics. Now, on the side, you get really nice artwork of the two characters, both either side, Coheed and Cambria. So very cool to see. On the back, really nice photos of the action figures, all the accessories, how they kind of work together. Two heroes from the past are made to do the unthinkable, be their enemy's greatest weapon. Ooh, you can see the angst on their faces right there. Here's everyone at NECA Toys associated with producing these figures, so thank you for that. And also here's the barcode. Even though you can get this online, I'll have a link in the description below and where you can grab yourself a set. And of course, if you didn't know, this is based off the AMORY Wars comic book. It's an ongoing series, and it's a very science fiction adventure. Very popular. Definitely check it out if you have the time. It's written by Coheed and Cambria's singer Claudio Sanchez. By the way, let me just point out, the head of hair on that man is friggin' amazing. Coheed and Cambria has been around since about 2002. Great music. They also got a comic book. Now they got action figures. Here's their tunes. And that's all you're going to get, because I ain't getting demonetized today, that's for sure. This is going to be fun. Sit back, relax, grab yourself a nice hot cup of coffee. This is a look at the brand new AMORY Wars box set by Evil Inc., Coheed and Cambria, and NECA Toys. And of course, here is Coheed and Cambria all out of the packaging, and NECA Toys always does such a great job of really capturing illustrative works, whether it be the Ninja Turtle line or Back to the Future, the animated series, you know, just kind of bringing forth the subtle nuances, the little accents that go from a 2D illustration into a full 3D realized action figure. And these two look great. I love just the facial features on them, their costumes. The accessories are actually quite nice. So we'll start off with Cambria's. You get these two, I'd like to say, like Scarlet Witch type effects, very bloodbender-ish kind of deal. Very comic book through and through, but really nice clear plastic, almost Kirby Crackle, almost there kind of thing. But it is very cool. Little offsets of it so she can clip them onto her hands. I'll show you that in just a second. Coheed comes with his knife protrusions that clip onto his arm. You get two different ones, both jagged, very gray with a white outline. Gives it that animated look. Sort of what they do with the more Target exclusive Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but they are nice. They just simply clip onto his forearm, which I'll show you in just a second. This arm cannon is fantastic though. The way it's painted, the little white highlights right there just give it that sheen to it. Again, much like the animated Ninja Turtle figures that they do. In case you were wondering, Coheed has one arm. It's a robot arm, and he can develop this giant space cannon thing. That would have been cool to have some sort of blast effect coming out. But let's go ahead and look at Cambria first. Now, this facial expression is very cool. I like that they did that. I think, you know, her eyes are all whited out. She's gritting her teeth. She's got some powerful energy blasts coming at you, just FYI. Even the hair is sculpted beautifully. On the back, and I'm judging because of the fact maybe it was the way it was packaged or just inlay in the plastic, the little belt piece right here is a little bit warped. I heat it up a little bit, but you kind of have to work with it to kind of slip it back over. Nice bodysuit on this. It's all stitched, all cloth goods. Very cool to see, and it works well with her articulation, which specifically you can rotate her head. The hair, even though it's long, doesn't really hinder anything. She can look up a little bit and look down, but mostly side to side, which works nicely. She's got some nice arm rotation. When you start lifting her arms up just because of that piece, you're going to have to work with it a little bit. It'll also start to bunch up the costume. It's not really a detriment. Once you kind of figure it out, it actually works really well, and it doesn't really hinder the articulation, which I think is the best part, even though she's got little belts and straps and everything else. So it does look good right down to her boots. She's got single jointed elbows. She's got some wrist rotation as well. They'll go up and down. That actually all works nicely. She's got a really nice waist. Again, even having a cloth suit to her, it works well. She'll kick out, kick to the side. Nothing at, say, like the boots. This thing will kind of slide down once in a while. She's got single jointed knees, and she does have some up and down rotation for her ankles. It's not a swivel. It's just up, down, basic stuff. But I like it for what it is. It actually works really nicely, and you can get some nice poses out of her. Talking about Coheed, I absolutely love the facial expression on this guy, the sculpted beard, the hair, everything about it. Just so over-the-top comic booky, and it looks, again, much like Cambria, like they stepped right out of the AMORY Wars comic books. So definitely cool to see NECA always tackling that same sort of deal. Big black bodysuit, cloth goods, some gray armor strapped over the top. It all fits. It moves with the figure. It doesn't hinder the figure. Sometimes you'll get an instance where the straps or something will fall down. Right here, you can see a little bit of paint scuffage already. That's a shame. Just because it's all black, and then, yeah, you're definitely going to see that right there. You got articulation in the head, even though he's got that beard right there. You just kind of move the armor down, move with it, and you get some nice articulation out of the head. As far as the shoulders go, much like I pointed out with Cambria, you'll just have to kind of work with it, move the costume around, make it fit. Get rockers out of the hands. The waist really moves nicely. Again, I love the colors of the belts and the straps and everything. He'll kick out nicely, kick back. He's got single jointed knees, which work really nice. Again, with the bodysuit that works with the articulation. Nothing at the boot, but he does have ankle rocker, which is a little bit different, of course, from Cambria's. So it's nice to have that, especially when posing this guy. You can get some nice poses, really just dramatic comic book poses. And then you can switch out from the hand to the giant arm cannon. It's just fantastic. And that's where I think the facial features come into play. You don't get alternate heads, but this is a comic book set through and through. This is like a splash page. You just have these characters all riled up. They're ready to use their powers. Put the blade gauntlets right there on his arm. As kind of says on the back of the box, it says you can kind of put two of them at the same time. I'm only able to get really one on there, right? You could swap them out, have different corresponding blades if you really want to. Heck, I'm sure you could give them to Cambria, but I just didn't want to make it the AMORY Wars fans, you know, there's only one. He's the one that deals with the blades, okay? She has these gorgeous red effects. The eyes, the teeth grit, everything works well. She is ready to unload some powers, and it's just fantastic. Again, her fingers just clip right into the red. It's snug. It stays in there, and it just looks cool. It looks like she's activating her powers. It's just kind of swarming over her fingertips, so it looks fantastic. I love how they did that. There's not really a clip-on effect or anything like that, which I think that with the blades on Coheed, you kind of lose the effect of the blades coming out, whereas it's just like a clip-on kind of thing. But pose them together, enemies beware, they're going to mess you up, they're going to throw you, blast you, whatever they plan to do. These are in that 8-inch NECA style, more of, let's say, the retro cloth goods. They're going to stand taller than most, let's say like the arcade Ninja Turtles. Leatherhead being a bigger figure, but they totally dwarf him in size. Marvel Legends, Ghostbusters, yeah, these are all going to be small, unless you got Sergeant D. Yeah, he's waiting for you. That's a musical crossover if I've ever seen one. But to really wrap it up, these two pose so well together, especially when you have the powers, which work nicely. Her powers clip on, his go over, his clip on to his arm. I'm not a huge fan of the blades, but I love the arm cannon, and I love her red particle effects. The cloth goods, they bunch up a little bit here and there. Maybe they get tangled in the armor when you're doing the articulation thing, but the articulation works, and it's not hard to just kind of straighten everything out again. So in that sense, it's really not a hindrance, and it surprisingly works nicely. You don't ever get the sense where you're going to break a stitch or pop anything, so I do like that. Some of the articulation, let's say in Cambria's feet, I really wish it would have matched Coheed's, but that's just really nitpicking. I got a couple instances, maybe some paint scratches on him, on her. The little gray plastic piece needs to be heated up and kind of straightened out just to kind of work a little bit better when you're moving it around on her shoulders. But I am curious to know what you guys think about this. Are you a fan of Coheed and Cambria? How about the AMORY Wars? How about this box set? Comment below. Let me know. Let's talk everything AMORY Wars. And thanks to my friends over at Roc Nation for sending this over to give you guys a fresh look. And I'm going to leave you guys with that. As always, drink some great coffee, eat some great food, but most importantly, remember, if you have the opportunity to choose, you want red reality-bending particle effects powers, or you want a giant robot arm. Go with the robot arm on this one, I think. This is awesome. When you do, let me know what you found. I'll talk to you guys soon. Adios.